At some point, it starts happening. You fall asleep like you always have. Nothing feels wrong when you go to bed. But then, you wake up. Earlier than you want to. Earlier than you used to. The room is quiet. The sky outside hasn't changed yet. And you're lying there, staring into the dark, wondering why your body decided the night was over. You don't feel fully rested, but you don't feel sleepy enough to fall back asleep either. And the thought creeps in. What changed? Is something wrong with me? Why can't I just go back to sleep like I used to? What makes it even stranger is how common this experience is. Talk to enough people and you'll notice a pattern. The older people get, the earlier they wake up. Not because they want to, not because they planned to. It just happens. In this video, we're going to slow this down and make sense of it. We'll explore 5 reasons people tend to wake earlier as they age, why this shift is normal, and what you can do to work with it instead of fighting it. Each point builds on the last, and by the end, the experience that once felt confusing should feel understandable and manageable. Your internal clock gradually moves earlier. Let's start with the foundation. Every person has an internal timing system, a built-in clock that decides when you feel alert and when you feel tired. When you're younger, that clock tends to run later. You get tired later. You wake up later. But as the years pass, that clock often begins to shift forward. Sleepiness shows up earlier in the evening, and the signal to wake up arrives earlier in the morning. So when you wake at 4 or 5 in the morning, your body isn't malfunctioning. It's responding to the timing it believes is correct. The problem is that your life may not have shifted along with it. Your schedule still expects more sleep. Your responsibilities haven't moved earlier. So there's a mismatch, not between your body and reality, but between your body and your expectations. This is often why early waking feels so frustrating. Mentally, you want more sleep. Biologically, your body believes it already delivered enough. But this clock shift alone doesn't explain why waking early feels so final. Why, once your eyes open, sleep feels out of reach. That leads us to the second piece. So the clock moves earlier. But what's happening inside your sleep is just as important. Sleep becomes lighter over time. As people age, sleep tends to change in texture. It becomes lighter, less heavy, less immersive. That doesn't mean you're sleeping less overall. It means the deeper stages of sleep occur less often, while lighter stages take up more of the night. This matters because lighter sleep is easier to interrupt. Small awakenings, the kind that always existed, become easier to notice. You're not waking up more often, you're just becoming aware of it when you do. That's why early awakenings feel sharper than they used to. Your brain surfaces faster, your thoughts come online more quickly. And once you're conscious, staying asleep suddenly requires more effort. But there's another factor working quietly in the background, something that determines whether your body pulls you back into sleep or lets you stay awake. Before we continue, if this experience sounds familiar to you, take a moment to like the video and leave a comment. What time do you wake up now compared to a few years ago? Your experiences help others realize they're not alone. Now let's finish this point. Lighter sleep doesn't mean worse sleep. It means sleep needs more protection. Consistency becomes more important. Calm environments matter more, and mental stimulation becomes more disruptive than it used to be. When sleep is lighter, forcing it often backfires. Allowing it tends to work better. Now, here's where things connect. Even with lighter sleep, the body usually pulls you back under, unless it doesn't feel the need to. The drive to stay asleep isn't as strong. There's a natural pressure that builds the longer you're awake. It's what makes your eyes heavy at night, and it's what helps keep you asleep once you're there. As people age, that pressure doesn't always build the same way. Daily activity levels may change, rest becomes more frequent, and the body doesn't always feel the same urgency to stay asleep. So when you wake early, there isn't a strong force pulling you back under, even if you want more sleep. This is why early awakenings often feel alert but empty. You're not energized, you're just awake. And when sleep pressure is low, even mild physical signals can wake you fully. Which brings us to one of the most common reasons people wake early. With lighter sleep and lower pressure, even a small signal can end the night completely. Physical signals become harder to ignore. One of the most common early morning wake-ups comes from a simple physical need: using the bathroom. As people age, the body becomes more sensitive to these signals overnight. Fluid processing changes, and what once could be slept through now demands attention. The important part isn't the wake-up itself, it's what happens after. Once you're up, the earlier clock, lighter sleep, and lower pressure combine. Sleep doesn't automatically reclaim you, and if the wake-up turns into a full mental reset, returning to sleep becomes unlikely. The goal here isn't elimination, it's containment. Keeping lights dim, keeping the process boring, avoiding stimulation. Treat the wake-up as a brief interruption, not the start of the day. But there's still one more layer that often seals the outcome. Once the body has woken you, the mind often finishes the job. Point 5. Quiet activates the mind. Early mornings are silent. No messages, no noise, no distractions. That silence creates space, and space invites thinking. The moment the mind starts planning, reviewing, or questioning why you're awake, alertness increases. Even neutral thoughts, "What time is it?" or "I hope I don't feel tired later," can shift the brain into wake mode. This is why acceptance matters. Not because you like waking early, but because resistance creates tension. The less meaning you assign to the awakening, the less energy it gains. Sometimes the goal isn't falling back asleep, it's staying calm enough that rest continues, even while awake. Once the body has woken you, the mind often finishes the job. Waking earlier as you age isn't a failure, it's a shift. Your internal clock moves sooner, sleep becomes lighter, the pull to stay asleep fades earlier, and quiet mornings wake the mind faster than they used to. Nothing is broken, your body is adjusting, not deteriorating. The real mistake is trying to force sleep back into an old pattern. The real solution is learning how to work with the one you're in now. If this experience sounds familiar, take a moment to engage with the video. Like it if this explanation helped put words to something you've been experiencing. And leave a comment sharing when you tend to wake up or what part of this resonated most. Your experiences help normalize something many people quietly worry about. And if you want more long-form breakdowns like this, calm, grounded, and focused on understanding rather than fear, consider subscribing. Sleep doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to patterns. And once you understand the pattern, the experience stops feeling like something is wrong and starts feeling like something you can work with.